Welcome to the Dr. Bo Show, a critical thinking, reason, and science-based approach to issues that matter. The Jeep Scam. Critical thinking in everyday life. My wife was browsing Facebook and saw an amazing deal in a local yard sale group. A 1998 Jeep with 44,000 miles for $1,400. This car would be perfect for our kids while they're at home from school. My wife sent me a screenshot of the ad posted just 4 minutes prior, and I told her to contact the seller right away, letting them know that we were interested. The seller got back to us promptly. The scam became blatantly obvious. Let's begin with perhaps the greatest driver of scams, greed. Greed comes in many forms, one of which is the desire to get an amazing deal. This desire blinds us to the many signs of a scam that might be obvious to us had we not been reacting emotionally. Let's take a look at some of these red flags. Red flag number 1, unusually attractive female seller. The seller was Julie. Long hair, big lips, and a whole lot of cleavage. The chances are this is a stock image. Scammers know that there's something called the halo effect, which is our tendency to fallaciously allow one positive quality of a person to spill over to other qualities. In this case, we see attractive people as more trustworthy than unattractive people. There are far more male con artists and scammers than female ones. For this reason, female profiles are almost always used for scams and cons. Sorry, men, but especially when it comes to transactions on the internet, women are far more trustworthy, and scammers know it. Red flag number 2, bad English. Scammers are commonly from other countries where they are either immune to U.S. laws or very unlikely to be pursued by law enforcement. Everyone makes typos now and again, but non-native English speakers tend to follow similar patterns where they leave out connecting words and have difficulties with basic rules of grammar and punctuation. Of course, there are also many Americans who don't speak or write English as a first language. So judge with care. In the ad, Julie writes, "I post the Jeep for my sister-in-law." Red flag number 3. Posting to a local group for someone else. An item for sale posted to a local community group would be available for pickup locally, but not if someone is posting for someone else. Then the item can be anywhere, and that is where wiring money comes in, paying with Bitcoin or some other way of sending the scammer money that cannot be traced or undone. Red flag number 4. Suggesting an alternative contact method. The reason scammers don't want to use the standard methods of communication where they posted the ad is that the ad is likely to be removed within minutes and their fake account terminated. The ad read, "I post the Jeep for my sister-in-law. Please contact her directly at deborahmorrow@gmail.com." Red flag number 5. Way too good to be true. Perhaps this should have been red flag number 1. This is how the scammer gets us to react with emotion rather than respond with reason. A fair price for the Jeep in the ad would have been about $8,000. These are all the red flags in the ad itself that both my wife and I, me being a self-proclaimed critical thinking master, missed. This is because there was no critical thinking involved. Our fast System 1 thinking kicked in, and we wanted to reply before others did in order to get the great deal. In fairness to my wife and me, and anyone else who would respond to such a post, simply inquiring for more information is a low-risk response. In other words, it wasn't quite time to put on critical thinking caps, not until they answered our email for more information. The answer goes as follows. "Hello there. Thanks for contacting me about my 1998 Jeep Wrangler with only 42,714 original miles. It's automatic, runs on gasoline. The truck is in great shape and immaculate condition, and I'm the original owner. It has no damage or hidden defects. I have a clear title under my name. The price is $1,400. I'm selling it because my husband died 1 month ago. He had a heart attack. And it brings me bad memories, so that's the reason I want to sell it ASAP. My daughter and I decided to sell the house, and so we moved with my parents in Lawrence, Kansas to start a new life. I want to use eBay's service for the safety of both of us, so if you're interested in purchasing the truck, just email me with your full name, P.O. Box or address including the zip code and phone number, so I can notify eBay that you are selected as my possible buyer, and they will contact you to explain the entire procedure. Thank you, Deborah Moreau. Red flag number 6, form letter response. This response is clearly a form letter as opposed to a custom response to an inquiry. This indicates a level of professionalism that is odd to find in this kind of consumer-to-consumer transaction. Red flag number 7, the sad story. Scammers want you to pity them because this results in higher levels of trust and you being more likely to do things that you wouldn't otherwise. Red flag number 8, shady transaction arrangements. The key to a good con is to slowly guide the person to the final step, in this case, sending the $1,400, by taking several small steps. First, respond to an ad and get their email. Second, get their full name, mailing address, and phone number. Third, presumably, they would pretend to be from eBay and guide you to the payment instructions. You can always tell if someone is spoofing an email by looking at the headers, but very few people know how to do this, and this is what the scammers count on. This kind of step-by-step con is based on the foot-in-the-door persuasion technique, where people are far more likely to grant large requests when they already granted smaller requests, like share full mailing address and phone. Scammers and con artists are all over the internet. Not all scams are easy to spot, at least not at first. Good critical thinking skills won't protect you from every scam, but certainly acts as a reliable deterrent. Remember that by not falling for a scam, you are not only helping yourself, you are also doing your part to rid the world of scammers. Because without victims, there can be no scammers. At least not successful ones.